What up, party people? Welcome back to another episode of Hood Talk at Night. Let's get it. Breaking news, the U.S. Department of Justice has filed a lawsuit alleging 3 inmates were detained beyond their legal release date. Wow. Some for weeks or months. The DOJ claims these actions claims the 14th Amendment guarantee of liberty. The lawsuit follows a 14-month-year-old investigation by the DOJ, Civil Rights Division, and U.S. Attorney Office across the Louisiana Assistant Attorney Generals. Christy Clark emphasized the importance of protecting individual liberty, stating the founders were keenly aware of potential abuse of power. Wow. Christie went on to say, when a government arbitrarily takes away freedom without lawful court orders by the DOJ, who seeks injustice release to address systematic issues. According to her saying, Louisiana efforts to fix the problem have been insufficient. Governor Jeff Landry and his Attorney General, Liz Morrell, criticized the lawsuit as politically motivated, labeling its part Christmas gift from Biden administration. They attributed to the prior criminal justice reforms and defend recent state effects to show public safety around the world. My take on that is, having been in prison, right? And being in jail 1 minute over your release date literally will affect one mental. You know? So, for those people in that parish to allow these guys to stay in jail weeks, nevertheless months after their release date, man, you serious? No, indeed, Lord. I'll give y'all a quick story, right? You would only get this exclusive only at Hood Talk, not The Talk. Hood Talk. Tag The Talk too and let them know that this is where you get the real info at. Authentic, original, originated. But moving on. This was the time when I was caught up in the underworld and doing things that I wasn't supposed to be doing in my younger years. Got caught for it, served my time. Now I'm a U.S. taxpaying citizen. I received a prison sentence of 11 years. However, I did 5.5 years on that prison sentence, right? I remember it vividly to this day, the day I got released and how I felt upon being released. I were happy. I really were. I was ecstatic. I was appeased. And so on and so forth, right? So with that being said, my mental, I would say my mental was still up to par, but I came home and still made some childish decisions that caused me to go back in prison. Got caught for a pill, which turned out the pill really wasn't nothing for me to be going to jail for. However, I go to trial, beat him in trial. I won in trial. Therefore, when you win a case in trial, that's an automatic release, right? Wrong. These people These people, you all, left me in there an additional month. An additional month after me being released. I promise you, I'm talking about, when I say I was drove. I'm like sitting in a jailhouse, mad. Like, what's going on? Calling home every day, telling my people, look, call these people, tell them, let them know. You know, I'm supposed to be gone out of here. So, they wound up letting me go. Make a long story short, they let me go, right? And I promise you, I remember this. When they let me go, I felt so good, so happy, so optimistic. I felt better that time being released off for those 3 months, because I did 3 months in jail. 2 months fighting the charge, and I did an additional month they held me for. I felt so good off of that than the 5.5 years. I remember it vividly, like I said, coming home about that 5.5 years, the day I got released, I was happy. But I was kind of like, something was missing. Something was missing, right? So, you know, no one wants to be in jail, first of all, but to have a person in jail longer than they extended stay, that's a violation all the way around the board. You know? And so for those people to do that, there is wrong. There is flat out wrong. They deserve to be sued. They really do. Whatever parish that is, I never been in that parish, never heard of that parish, but they do need to be sued. They really do. Moving on. Get in that comment section where all my boxing fans at. Whether it's UFC, MMA, or pro boxing, get in that comment section. We got a good one coming up. Number 1 ranked WBC super middleweight title holder David Benavidez about to put his belt up against number 2 ranked WBA title holder, David Morrell. So, this will be a good one, y'all. This will be a unification bout. And, wow. For those of you who don't know, let me give you a little clarity on this boxing thing, right? Not MMA, pro boxing. There's 4 belts in each weight class. WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO. 4 belts, right? In that weight class, 168, which is super middleweight, like I mentioned, David Benavidez is the number 1 ranked contender. David Morrell is the number 2 ranked contender. And they both have belts. Okay? And David Morrell will fight David Benavidez for the unification bout. This is a unification bout. Right? And they have 2 more belts out there in that division. Y'all know who holds them. David Benavidez got the WBC. David Morrell got the WBA. David Benavidez, 6'2", 168 pounds. David Morrell, 6.5 feet, 168 pounds. That's the weight coming in. Who knows what their fight weight gonna be? You know, 9 times out of 10, David Benavidez is gonna come in at. That's a big boy. Maybe probably about 181. David Morrell also may come in about 180. 180, 179, you know? So, this is going to be a good one, y'all. This is going to be a good one. Like I said, both of these guys, if y'all go Google David Benavidez, David Morrell, second press conference, right? The reason why I say this may be a good fight and a good upset fight, boxing managers, coaches, owners, whoever, they would tell you, never go into a fight angry. Don't do it. Never go into a fight angry. Why? You fighting out emotions. You don't fight out emotions. You fight with strategy. Scientific. It's a thinking man's game. You know what I'm saying? That's why they call you might hear a boxer say he a counterpuncher. Thinking man's game. You swing, I'm gonna swing back. That's dissecting each other, figuring each other out. Thinking man's game. As opposed to you going in, you mad because he said, fuck your mama. Now you going in, you won't fight. No, that's that Mike Tyson manager. I'm sorry. That's that Mike Tyson strategy. And it didn't serve him good. Because once he got to those big boys, Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis, although, with all due credit to Tyson, he worked at the end of his career, and the guy did do, 3 years in jail? Just like Muhammad Ali? Of his prime years? So, you have to give him that credit. But, he still had the wrong mentality when he got into that ring, as far as being aggressive mentally wise, being in a rage, trying to fight, you know. But other than that, I think he was a great, not great fighter. I think he was a good fighter. But David Benavidez, David Morrell, these guys, man, their second press conference. And here's why I say that. Their second press conference, David Benavidez, right? He's a good boxer. I follow him. I watched him. I still watch him. He's a good boxer, right? Up and coming. 3-0. 28 knockouts, right? But however, he don't have no slickness with him. And if you really pay attention, all my boxing fans, y'all know what I'm talking about. If you really pay attention, Joe Frazier, Ken Norton, Floyd Mayweather, and Pernell Whitaker, I forgot this other boxer. It's not coming to me right now. It's not coming to my head right now. One more boxer is just not coming to my head. When they fought, you have to remember, a boxer fights with offense and defensive mode at the same time. Meaning, you're dissecting offense and defense all in one, rather than you just offense, not defense. Because if that's the case, you're going to get knocked out. So you have to, manage both of them all in one at the same time. And with that being said, there's a plethora of boxing defenses. That Ken Norton, his style was, Ken Norton's style was whereas though that when he fight, if his opponent sticking that jab out there, Ken Norton his left hand, he was an orthodox fighter. His left hand was always right here. His right hand was always right here. His strategy was left hand, block the stick. Right hand, block the ribs. And that's how he approached all his fights. Having served him, I watched a lot of his fights. It was a pretty impetuous, style. So with Joe Frazier, him and Evander Holyfield's styles was similar, parallel. Defense. That's how their defense was. Joe and John Foreman started to use it later on in his career. Defense like this. If you go back and watch the fight, Muhammad Ali, all 3 fights against Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier style like that. And he was a very small guy, 5'10", maybe 199, 202 at the most. His defense was like this. That's a great defense for the protect you from the uppercut. It really worked. And that stick. It protects that stick. So, and he moved his head every time he comes in. Bob and weave up and down. As opposed to Mike Tyson, he used to slip sideways, 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 sideways. Joe Frazier wasn't like that. He was down. Floyd Mayweather, he adapted the Philly shell. Similar to the Ken Norton style. But it's said to be that when the opponent, the opposition is throwing the jab, you can slip the jab with your shoulder, or you can slip the right hook with your shoulder. So, example, if your opponent is throwing a right jab, you can, and the jab normally should go past you if the boxer utilizes it correct, right? However, if he don't, it still will hit your shoulder, So, with David Benavidez, he don't have no physical attributes displaying while he's fighting. Maybe in his mind, but if you watch his fights and go back and watch him, he's a stick, straight up and down. Bam, 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 bam. He don't got no dipping and slipping and jabbing, and he all offense. And that can serve you very well to a degree. But, again, you need some type of defense to include with your offense. It helps you understand your opponent better as opposed to you on go, all offense. You don't know what your opponent, you can't figure out his strategy because you're so busy trying to break him down. Again, to a degree, that's good because you give him no chance to utilize his strategy, right? You breaking his. First with the mental, second physically, right? Now, other opponents, they get off, back up, put on their defense, and figure him out, read him. You read your opposition now. Oh, I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to throw the jab up here 5 times to see if I'm going to bite for it, and then go down here. Oh, every time we're in the clinch, he trying to hit me with that uppercut. So I got to watch that. You know? So, like I said, boxing is all about a strategy. That's why it's called a sweet science. And David Benavidez, Dave Morrell, it's going to be a good one, y'all. Like I said, this is going to be a good one. If you're like T.O. said, if you ain't got your popcorns ready, get your popcorns ready. This is going to be a good one. I don't think this is going to be a good one on paper, y'all. You know, I have seen way too often that two fighters with two names. David Morrell's record is, I think David Morrell, 15-0 if I'm not mistaken. Get in that comment section, y'all. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. David Morrell's record is 15-0, I believe, right? So when you got two undefeated fighters, on paper, that should be a good match, right? Wrong. I have seen way too often that on paper, two fighters with zeros at the end of their record get in that ring, and the world analysts hyped it up, trainers, managers, they all hyped it up, all to be a fluke. All to be a fluke. Just because they both had zeros at the end of their record, and they both were undefeated. Like, man, it's crazy, man. That ain't my line, bro. I just had a fight in my mind who I can't think what fight, what boxing that was. I think, although they say the boy was on steroids, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, right? Again, like they say, Devin Haney was on nothing and Ryan Garcia was on steroids. So, man, for him for that boy to get embarrassed like that, and even Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, on paper, good fight, right? Shut up. Baseball terms, Terrence Crawford pitched a shutout. Man, bro, I'm be honest. Those fights were so historical and will go down in boxing history until the way that both of those fighters ain't been back in the ring since. We should put an APB out on Errol Spence Jr. and Devin Haney. They got slaughtered in those rings and haven't been in the ring yet. Somebody tagged the big fish Errol Spence, and somebody tagged the dream, whatever his Instagram is, the dream Devin Haney. Let him know we looking for him to come get back in that boxing ring, man. Dust it off. Come get back in the ring. You know? So that's just the way it is in fighting. Even the greats have lows. Whoever you consider the great, they lost. You know? So, all my boxing fans, it's about to go down. David Benavidez, David Morrell. Get y'all tickets in now or order the fight. And all my MMA fans, we have another great one. The Dagestani boys is going down again, fight in January. the Khabib Nurmagomedov, his game about to pull it off. You have Islam Makhachev about to defend his lightweight title and put it on the line against a former nemesis, Aman Saruki, who some say arguably was Islam Makhachev's hardest opponent yet. Islam Makhachev saw that interview when someone said that and he highly disagreed. Me personally, I saw the fight. I wouldn't say that was his toughest fight yet. I would say that was his most hardest fight, right? And here's why I say the difference. No blood was shed in that fight. None. That's why I say it wasn't his toughest. No blood was shed. No eyes was blackened. No nose was buzzed. No, none of that. It was a high grappling game. Those boys, I ain't gonna lie, they was going there. Wrestling their asses off. Going at it. 3 rounds. You could have, I'll be honest. If Aman Saruki wouldn't have, because you can see in the third round, Aman Saruki, he was weighing out. He was weighing out, and you can see it, right? But Islam Makhachev, that boy was still strong. That boy was still strong, and he was going. I'm talking about going. So that was the difference in their first fight. And what's going to serve Aman Saruki even better now? He got footage on Islam, right? He got footage on the fight. So what he going to do is go watch that tape. Go watch that tape. Watch Islam. Watch him. And apply the knowledge that he got from the first fight into the second fight. This is going to be a good one, y'all. This is going to be a good one. I promise you. If you ain't got the fight, go order the fight. I'm telling you. On that same card, we got welterweight champ Merab versus another Khabib Nurmagomedov prodigy, Umar Nurmagomedov. So you got 2 guys coming from the Khabib camp fighting on the same card at the same night for the belt. Well, one fighting for the belt and the other one is defending his belt. Man, dog, don't you know how big that would be for Russia? And even bigger for the Khabib Nurmagomedov camp. 2 fighters coming home with the belts and their family. What? Boy. Ooh. That gonna be a tough night for Khabib right there. And Merab, again, this goes back to what I was saying. Merab, he's highly in his feelings, you all, right? Go watch Merab interviews. This guy is highly in his feelings. And that's not going to serve him too well. It's really not. Every interview that boy did, every interview that young man did, go watch it. He's talking down, not down in the sense of hating on him. He's talking down on Umar Nurmagomedov like he doesn't have any respect. Right? And also, he doesn't deserve to fight him. They got guys who been there longer to deserve to fight him. So, with that being said, time to go pay some bills. Y'all know my motto. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can be alerted when I upload some more videos. And tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe to Superfly Entertainment channel, because this is where you get all the good hood talk at Superfly Entertainment. Hood talk. We out. See you next time.